Welcome. Today we are diving into something I think is super important. How you go from having a brilliant idea all by yourself to building a massive success story with someone else. We're going to build the ultimate blueprint for what a real partnership looks like.
So, you ever have that feeling? You've got this huge vision. You're putting in all the work, drinking all the coffee, but when you look around, you're the only one in the room. It's that classic lone wolf thing, right? You're trying to build an empire, but you're also the one taking out the trash. It feels like you're pushing a giant boulder uphill, all by yourself.
And look, that feeling, it is not just in your head. The traditional way of doing things alone, what we call a sole proprietorship, comes with some very, very real disadvantages. So let's break down what those are, because you can't find the right solution until you really truly understand the problem.
And this? Well, this chart just lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you have the solo act. Your financing is limited to whatever you can scrape together. The management burden? It's all you, baby. You're the CEO, the marketer, the janitor. And the risk? Yeah, that all lands squarely on your shoulders. But look at the other side. A partnership is like a direct answer to every single one of those problems.
Which brings us to this really elegant solution, the partnership. Think of it like this. A brilliant solo musician who suddenly realizes, hey, I could create something way bigger if I just formed a band. You bring in a drummer, a bassist, and all of a sudden, you're not just playing a little tune, you're creating a symphony.
And this isn't just some nice idea, It's the real reason the whole partnership model even exists. The source material is crystal clear on this. This entire structure evolved specifically to solve the biggest headaches of going it alone. It's all about getting more capital, bringing in different kinds of skills, and, this one's huge, sharing the weight of the risk.
Okay, so we get why partnerships are a thing, but to really get it, to build one that's going to last, we need to know what they actually are. And for that, we have to look at what the law books have to say. Let's get into the official definitions.
So, our first definition comes from the Indian Partnership Act of 1932. Now, most of it sounds pretty straightforward, right? People agree to share profits from a business. But I want you to focus on that last phrase, because it is the secret sauce. Carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. Just file that away for a second. It is the key to this whole thing.
All right, now the next definition adds a couple more really crucial ingredients to our blueprint. First, the partners have to be competent to make contracts. So you can't just go into business with anyone. And second, the business has to be lawful. It seems obvious, but it's a super important detail that makes this a legitimate, formal structure.
And this third definition, this one adds one final and I think brilliant layer. It shows that a partnership isn't just about money, it's about combining everything you've got, tangible stuff like property and intangible things like your labor or skill. I mean, think about it, right? One partner brings the cash and the other one brings the incredible coding skills. Both are absolutely essential to make it work.
Okay, so we've looked at 3 different definitions. And yeah, the wordings are a little different in each one. But if you strip them all down to their core, they're all built on the exact same foundation. So now, let's put it all together into one simple, really powerful framework.
And this is it. This is what it all boils down to. The 4 pillars of a true partnership. First, it has to start with an agreement. Second, you need the people, at least 2 of them, and they have to be legally competent to make a deal. Third, you need a lawful business where you're pooling all your resources, your property, your labor, your skills. And finally, the goal, a crystal clear agreement to share the profits. Every single one of those definitions we just looked at has these 4 things.
Okay, remember that little phrase I told you to remember from the first definition? Acting for all? Well, here's the payoff. It describes a legal concept called mutual agency, and it is the absolute heart of a partnership. What it means is that any single partner can make a decision that legally binds everybody in the business. This is why trust is so critical. It's about a deep, deep responsibility to each other.
So let's bring this all together. We've gone from the struggles of the solo founder all the way to the legal nuts and bolts of what makes a partnership tick. And understanding all this, it's not just some academic exercise. It's about having the clarity you need to go out and build something that's actually going to last.
So what are the big takeaways here? Let's do a quick recap. Number 1, a partnership is the answer to the limits of going solo. 2, it's a formal deal to run a lawful business and share the profits. 3, it's about combining all your resources, not just money, but your labor and your skills. And finally, and maybe most importantly, it's built on this profound trust where you can legally act for each other.
Which brings us to the final, and maybe the most important question of all.
As you're thinking about your own big idea, your own dream, don't just think about what you want to build. Think about who. Based on everything we've just covered, from sharing the risk to combining skills to that deep mutual trust, who would be your perfect partner?